Welcome to Three and Out with Jason and Kevin. I am Jason. That's Kevin. We are brought to you by CincyJungle.com, SB Nation Cincinnati Bengals website. We are sponsored by Eastgate Smiles Dental Care. We are on the Orange and Black Insider on YouTube. Find us. It's not just us. It's a lot of other great content. Daily Bengals content, different shows, OBI, Chalk Talk, Talking Bengal or Talking Football with Bengal Jim and Friends. And we are on podcast anywhere that you can stream a podcast. We're on there. Orange and Black Insider. Check it out. Subscribe, like the whole deal. Kevin, what's going on, buddy?
Nothing. I didn't think I was gonna make it back on time. I'm on call this week.
Yeah,
But ended up having a very easy in and out uh kind of a call, so made it just in time.
there you go. I think that we should note that it is possible for you to have to duck and leave. And if
Yeah, and
that's
if we
the
recorded
case,
enough of this, I'm just dipping out and you're gonna have to finish the thing.
yeah. And if that's the deal, that's the deal. So hopefully it doesn't happen. All right. So the plan kind of tonight, I don't really, and the Bengals season's over. We're just watching other teams play football. It was a fun weekend of football. There were some surprises. I
Sure.
was happy to see the Browns get embarrassed and
Yep.
implode. I was happy. I'm happy for Baker Mayfield. I like him. I like him. You can't help not to like him. It's cool.
Okay, are you happy for Baker Mayfield or are you just that spiteful for the Browns? I find that I love when Baker succeeds, but it has nothing to do
Okay.
with
All right.
my feelings toward Baker at all. He could
Right.
be he could be a nobody. He could be
Right.
anybody. The fact that he's having playoff success
Right.
right now and the Browns didn't is
That's why I like Baker
amazing
Mayfield.
to me. Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
He
So
could be
yes,
anybody.
I don't. Yeah, I nothing Baker Mayfield, but I like
Yeah.
that Baker Mayfield had a career year and won
Yeah.
a playoff game
Yeah.
while the Browns pissed down their leg in the playoffs. I
Yes,
love
they
it.
did. Booked by
I also,
CJ Stroud.
yep, exactly. And the draft picks that they received from Cleveland for creepy McCreepface.
Yep.
That's the funny thing about it.
It is.
If the Texans and the Buccaneers face in the Super Bowl, it should be Super Bowl brought to you by Cleveland Browns because it'd be funny. That's funny to
It
me.
would.
I also saw something funny that was talking about if you reorganized all the mascots. If you reorganize all the mascots in the NFL by the animal closest, like that's most populated in their area. And I was expecting, like, what would you think? Cincinnati? It'd be the Cincinnati,
Squirrels?
yeah, something like that. It's ants. Everywhere's
Oh,
ants.
sure.
And it's
Yeah, that's
funny
right.
because it was like a scientist and he's like, it's ants. I was like, ugh, whatever, man. All right. Anyway, what we're doing tonight is we're gonna kind of do like a position group State of the Union. And we have like a little spreadsheet thing on whatever it's called. Um what's a
Tear
website,
maker.
whatever. Yeah, Tier Maker. So if you're watching, good for you. If you're listening, sorry. But we're going to go through. We have 5 different tiers to kind of throw the position into, and we're talking about uh, a view from the 2023 as a whole. Correct?
Yeah, because the point
Yeah.
of this is that we're trying to build something to compare to after free
Right.
agency, after the draft. So we're not going to like T. Higgins may or may not be here. Tyler Boyd may or may not be here.
Right.
We will still be ranking the wide receiver room as excellent. Spoiler, that one's going to be
Yep.
an easy one. Everyone will know that because we want to find a baseline of what we think was successful, what wasn't, and then look at it back again right before the season starts, just to kind of get an idea of did the team get better? Did it get worse? Where are we in comparison? That's the idea.
So, so I think what we could say is pretend we're going into week 18. This is our team, right? We have one more
Yep.
game left, whatever. But yeah, this is the team as it exists right now. Before the new league year begins. So yeah, let's kind of just jump right into that. I'll get us ready here. So I do have one player representing each position group.
Sure.
So we're going to start with Joe Burrow. So first of all, the tiers are great, good, needs work, overhaul, and then it's an issue that'll take multiple off seasons to overcome. So quarterback, we're going to start with Joe Burrow and Jake Browning, and I'm just going to say great.
Yeah,
Right off the
you
bat.
really can't. Yeah, this is an easy one. You
Yeah.
really can't expect more than a top 5 quarterback and a backup who can win multiple games.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a better quarterback room in the NFL, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know, I don't know who's the backup quarterback in Kansas City, who's the backup quarterback in Buffalo. At least we know now Jake Browning is not gonna lose it for you.
No,
That's valuable. That's
no, and
super
he
valuable.
is,
Super valuable.
yeah, he's a, the way he put it, and I think it was great,
Yeah.
was that he thinks he's a top 32 quarterback. He just happens to play on a team with a top 5 quarterback. I think that's true. I think he is at least better than one other starter out there,
Oh
without
yeah.
trying to break down who it would be.
Right.
So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I agree.
that's great. They're top tier. I don't see a problem in the future at all.
I agree. I agree. Okay, so that takes us to running back. Running back, really the main names: Joe Mixon, Chase Brown, Travion Williams. Chris Evans is on the team, never plays. I don't even think there's really much of a point in talking about him anymore.
Right.
Um, where do you put the running back room?
I'm gonna put it with, for me, I put it dead center. It needs work.
Okay.
Um, I think that we've seen some flashes here and there. I think Mixon tends to play better when he gets to split snaps with another back. We saw that. I think Chase Brown has huge upside. But we do not know who our third should be or can be. We don't know which Mixon we're going to see game to game. Is some of that the O line? Probably. But we'll get to that here shortly. But
Yeah.
I'm not satisfied with our run game. And half the run game is the O line, the other half of the game is the running backs.
So I think that I was very excited about what we've seen over Chase Brown over the last handful of weeks, especially when he was able to get beyond the line of scrimmage and really get moving in space. I had no idea he had that kind of top end speed. Super exciting about that. He's very much kind of the lightning to Mixon's thunder, but it's clear to me, at least to me, that I think Mixon's lost a step. Um,
Yep.
he's still a really tough runner. He's tough to bring down. He's good for those like goal line things, but I totally agree with you. I believe it needs work. Um, if you had to guess if Mixon's going to be on the team in 2024, what would you say?
I do not think
Well,
so. No.
okay. I mean, they saved 5 million by cutting him, but
Well,
you know, we'll get to that some other time. But yeah,
we will. Yeah, but I would say no. And we'll know soon because they got to cut
yeah,
him soon because of
right,
that
right.
bonus.
There's a bonus due in
Anyways,
like mid March. So, all right, which takes us to wide receivers, and you already said it. It's I mean T Higgins,
yeah, this one,
Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd.
wide receivers and quarterbacks, there's only one answer. I don't
Yeah,
think I spoiled much. I think we just,
no,
people would riot
yep,
if we said anything else because it'd be untrue. Our wide
yep,
receivers is probably the best wide receiver room in the in all football. I would say
yep,
argue that against anybody. And then you got backups like Yoshi, Charlie Jones, Irwin. I mean,
yeah,
not
and
just
they
top
showed what
tier
they can do.
talent, but depth
Right,
that is very good.
right,
We were great. We were absolutely great.
yep. They yeah, and like you said, it wasn't just the big three, and the big three are the best three in the NFL for sure. Uh, or the best three at playing, on the same team. But Yoshi showed so much this year. Charlie Jones really showed a lot of flashes, especially in that last game against Cleveland. Um, and then Trent Irwin is just kind of Mr. Number 4 reliable guy. You know what I mean? When it always
Sure,
seems to be, hey, we got a couple people banged up. We need Trent Irwin in there. He seems to just make big play after big play, especially late in the games.
it
I don't know
does.
if it's just because they overlook him or what, but Burrow trusts him, so it's great. Yeah. So those are, to me, those are the only two that are going to be in that top tier position on the team.
Probably, but let's
So
get to it.
yeah. So tight end, this is Tanner Hudson. Have you looked at I just never really looked at Tanner
Yeah,
Hudson's. He looks like a tight end.
he's weird looking. He's
Yeah.
Tight ends are weird looking. Almost
Yeah.
almost all of them are a little weird looking. They just, something's off about almost all good tight ends. That's why Travis Kelsey
He's a
is a
fraud.
freaking an anomaly, and that's why we don't like him. Is
Okay.
because to be a good tight end, you got to be just a little bit weird looking. I
I get
believe
that.
this.
I get that. Yeah. I mean, they're all exaggerated in some way. Gronk kind of
Yeah,
looks a little bit like a dressed up caveman,
yeah,
a little bit. Kittle looks like he's crazy. He might
yeah.
be crazy. I kind of get it. I get it. Travis Kelce's the exception. The day walker. The day walker. All right. Um, so I think that tight end is here overhaul.
It is. It would be and will take multiple off seasons to fix,
If it
and that
wasn't
it's
for
that
Tanner Hudson.
bad. Well, not even just. Let's be honest. Look,
Yeah.
I like Tanner as much as the next guy. He's ranked bottom of almost all starting tight ends.
Oh
He is
yeah.
not that good. He just looked good in comparison because
To
the rest of our
what
tight
else
end
we
room
have.
was
Right.
absolute garbage. Right.
Right.
Um, it's just that a tight end room is easy to fix.
I
I think our tight end room was abysmal, but you can
right.
fix a tight end room in a
In
season
1 year.
without even spending a ton of money on it.
Right. Unlike
You can at
wide
least get it up to
receiver.
good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Unlike wide receiver, offensive line, defensive line, tight end's one of those things you fix it with one guy. One
Yep.
guy fixes tight end room.
Yep.
So I do agree. It's overhaul. The only guy that I would really care about being on the roster next year is Tanner Hudson, but not as the starter. You know what I mean? If
No, Tanner
Tanner
Hudson's a good
Hudson's
backup. I think
yeah,
Sample really showed up this year.
I know. I really,
Um,
really like Drew Sample, and I don't want to pay him a ton of money. I
no,
don't want to like throw a blank check at him to keep him in Cincinnati. If he gets a better offer somewhere else, I will be happy for him. But if he ends up in a Bengals uniform next year, I'll be totally fine with that. Totally fine with
as
that.
long as he's not the number one
No, well,
tight
true,
end.
right. As long as
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? That's what it comes down to. He's a
right,
role player and he's a good one
right.
for the
Yeah.
roles we ask him to play. Um,
When I say I'd be happy with it, I mean I'd be happy with it if he was like tight end 3. You know what I
sure.
mean? Or like a fullback kind of guy, like a hybrid H-back kind of thing. So,
Yep.
all right, and then so that brings us to offensive line, represented by Orlando Brown Jr., our new left tackle. So where do you put him on this
Now this
tier
is a
here?
conversation, and I feel like we'll do this and we'll go to commercial because I feel like
Yes,
this is a debate.
I
This is
agree.
one of the ones that, to me, we have one of the worst O lines in the league. We also have one of the most expensive O lines in the league. We also, in my opinion, have a coaching problem on the O line. I get that we as fans, we love Ted Karras, we love Kappa, we love these people. We have a deep, systemic O line problem, one that cannot be solved in a single season. It requires probably a coaching change, which I don't think we're going to get. It requires multiple draft picks, and it requires hitting on O linemen in the fourth or fifth round, at least guards and centers, at least once in the next 2 years to get some cheap talent up there. I
Okay.
think our O line room is absolutely in the lowest category of this will take multiple off seasons to fix. What do you think?
I completely disagree with that. I really do.
Okay.
And I don't disagree with everything that you said. I really don't. And I'm not going to move him yet. I don't because I
No,
want to
no,
see if
this
I
is
can
a
change my
debate. Let's go.
yeah, I don't disagree with everything that you've said. I do agree with some points that I know that we like these guys and I know that they've underachieved considering that they are one of the most expensive offensive lines. I get that. That's all true. I think there is a coaching issue. I sometimes wonder if there's some sort of talent evaluation issue with the Bengals. I mean, think about like our offensive line drafting, and we have Cordell Volson.
It's a very clear they
It's very
don't
hit
draft athletes.
right,
They
right.
do not
I mean,
draft athletes. They don't care about it.
it seems to me that for every offensive lineman that they draft that hits, there's 3 or 4 that are busts, right?
Yeah,
That
we're
they really
really, really bad
struggle,
at it.
right? I mean, somehow we turned Billy Price into BJ Hill, which still just amazes me that that happened. But had it not happened, and we still got I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like think about BJ
It sounds like
helps us.
you're in my camp.
No, no. Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. I don't think it takes multiple off seasons to fix. I don't because I truly believe that 4 of the 5 starters will be starters this year, and if they do what I hope them to do, which is make a coaching change, and I know you said that you're not expecting that, but I think
Taylor said he's not expecting that.
yeah, I'm just saying I think it can be fixed in one off season. They're going to need to replace Jonah Williams. I don't see any way that he comes back. I do not think that there's a starting right tackle on the roster. They're going to have to replace that position. But I do believe I personally think that they're here at overhaul. And that's
I
just
mean,
the what I mean by overhaul is you need to make a coaching change.
So, okay, but they need more than a coaching change. They don't have any athletes on the roster, almost period. They have one of the most expensive O lines, almost
Right.
period. And they're in the bottom 5 2 years out of a row. I'm not saying everybody needs to get replaced. I
Right.
am saying we will not have a top 15 O line next year, no matter what. We just can't, not with this roster.
Okay.
And I don't think we're changing coaching either.
I hope we do. I mean, I
I
tend
do
to agree
too.
with you.
I'm not a
Right.
Pollock fan anymore. He was the
Right.
great savior, and then he didn't do a single thing for us, but whatever.
So, in your opinion, so when you say that the offensive line is here, will take
Yeah.
multiple off seasons to fix. To get to what point?
To
To
get
get
to at
to
least
here
a
or get here?
yeah. No,
Okay.
to get to either needs work or good, to get to either
Okay.
the second tier or third tier. We will not be a top 15 O line next year. We might be a top 15 if we play our cards right. O line the following year. That's how deep I think we are.
So you've convinced me, I think, a little bit to be a little bit more, unfortunately, be a little bit more pessimistic about the offensive
Yeah,
line.
it
I don't.
sucks.
Yeah, I'm not happy about that, but I think that you make some good points. So I'll put them there. Um, I just don't want to believe that. You know what I mean? I want to do
Yeah.
this with my heart and not my head. Um, so yeah, the athlete thing is an issue. It is. Um, and the amount of money that we're paying this offensive line to be subpar is frustrating as well. I mean, if you just watch like the Detroit Lions game, I mean, did you see some how much time Jared Goff had to throw at times? And I know that
Oh
the
yeah.
whole thing, and I'm not trying to get into a Sewell versus Chase because Chase was the right call, 100%. But
Yes.
like that's an offensive line. It's a really good one. It would be nice to be able, they spent all this money. I'd like to see it work. So, all right. You have anything to say about the offense? Anything else?
No, just that I'm sorry to our
No.
listeners slash viewers. I know I'm
Yeah.
being pessimistic. I know we all want the O line to.
Dragging me down.
Um, I mean, why not? We all want it. We all like this could be the year. This could be the year. No matter
Yeah.
what, we're going to get to overhaul maybe next year, but we can't go farther than that. We have to replace
Right.
multiple players with athletes. We have to replace coaching. We have to get cheaper. Literally every aspect that
That's
would
the
make
big
this
thing. Yeah.
room good is bad. Cost is
Right.
bad. The athleticism is bad. The coaching is bad. It takes years to fix that.
Yep. Yep. I agree. All right. And take commercial. We'll be right back with defense.
Eastgate Smiles Dental Care is a warm and welcoming environment where expertise and customer service come together. As a local business, they love helping their fellow Cincinnatians manage their oral health and achieve a perfect smile. They pair the latest technology with years of experience to give you a smile worth showing off. They are dedicated to quality and convenience and can even perform dental crown procedures the same day in most cases. You like your smile, but they are here to help you love it. They personalize your care and match your needs. Call them today at 513-528-1150 to learn what they can do for your pearly whites.
All right. Welcome back. So that brings us to defense. I have defensive line first represented here with Trey Hendrickson, who had a career year in 2023. I do want to ask a quick question before we rank him here or before we rank the defensive line. I would like to know your thoughts on how we're going to count DJ Reader towards this exercise.
We need to count him as a full participant.
Okay, full participant. All right, so we are pretending that DJ Reader didn't get hurt. Okay,
Yes. We're
then
just
I am
ranking it's the overall room.
right,
Like
right. The overall room. Okay, then I am going to say the
because
defensive
by that
line
logic,
needs
our
work.
quarterback room is abysmal in the worst quarterback room in the entire
Right,
NFL
right. Understood. I got
because
you.
Burrow's hurt.
Right. So this is where I'm at. Needs work, and the reason I'm there is simply depth. Trey Hendrickson, obviously great edge rusher. Sam Hubbard, good everything guy, just very good at everything. Um, I don't know what we're going to get from Miles Murphy. There are some like next gen stats that I've seen that are really promising, but next gen stats unfortunately don't translate.
You mean that he gets pressure?
That he gets pressure, right? But that doesn't
So the one
necessarily
thing we knew he
translate
could
to
do at the when we the one thing we knew he could do from day
right.
one that he hasn't improved on whatsoever. Yep.
Yeah. So my head is the top five guys. You got Hendrickson, Hubbard, Reader, and BJ Hill. I think that's among the top 10 defensive lines in the league. Those those guys. But when you're talking about depth, there's a big issue. There is no second reader. And I get it. Anybody who has reader doesn't have a backup reader. DJ Reader's special, but there's not a ton of depth. And I think that that's a big issue for big guys who get tired quickly. So I say there needs work. Where do you put them?
I will give you needs work because that is
Okay.
probably closer to what's true than what's in my head.
Okay.
And my head is tier 4 overhaul.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sam Hubbard, I get that he maybe was playing injured, maybe wasn't. He is not getting pressure. He just isn't. Miles Murphy isn't getting pressure. Nobody's getting pressure. Nobody's getting pressure but Hendrickson. That's bad. We also need multiple people who can take starter level snaps. That's also bad.
Right.
At the
Yeah.
point where you are looking to add pass rush and 2 to 3 role players, that's bordering on overhaul for me. But
Right.
I get what
Okay.
you're saying. If we're
Right.
counting Reader, we're counting Hendrickson, we're counting BJ Hill, and we're saying, like, but look at the core. You're correct.
Mm-hmm.
The core is good. It's just not
Right.
balanced correctly to generate results, if that makes any kind of sense.
Yep. It does. It does. I get you. I get you. So
So
we're in
I'll give you
agreement.
needs work, but I'm
Okay.
close to overhaul. Close
Okay.
to.
Okay. I get that. I get that. All right. That brings us to linebackers. So where do you put linebackers?
I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt on this. I think they're good. They did not play up to par this year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but for the money and
Yep.
linebackers kind of always up and down. It's just one of them positions. Um, I still think we have a good linebacker room. I like our depth. I
Yep.
like our starters. I'm happy. We don't have any like Micah Parsons or something like that. We don't have any crazy talent. But
Right.
we have really good players
Yep.
who came pretty cheap, and I like
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
What about you?
So I totally agree. Good. Not great because there's not one of those like all-time freak stars like Parsons or something like that. Um, but they're good. I think that what they do is a little bit is very how good they've been has been dependent on how good DJ Reader's been, and without Reader when he
Sure.
was hurt, you know, they struggled a little bit. I think DJ Reader just soaks up so much space and takes up blockers and stuff like that. But they're both very good coverage linebackers, which is kind of just the trend now. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And considering they're both under contract for the next few years and they're fairly affordable, I totally agree. They're good because the value, what they bring
Yes.
and the value that they have. So yeah.
Good
Totally agree.
players
Good.
for a very reasonable price. I'll take it.
Yes. Yes. All right. So then that brings us I think that we might have some disagreements about this one too. So this one is cornerbacks, represented here by Cam Taylor Britt. So this is not just the whole secondary; it's just cornerbacks. You got Cam Taylor Britt, DJ Turner, Chidobe Awuzie, who remember we are counting because it's 2023.
Yep.
Sidney Jones, Jalen Battle. I personally think that they're good, and here's the reason:
Okay.
we know what Cam Taylor Britt is. Cam Taylor Britt is
Yes.
a true number one. He's going to be good. I saw a ton of really great flashes from DJ Turner. He's young, but I think he'll get there. But he's just got some speed and athleticism that you just can't teach. You can't teach Chidobe
Sure.
Awuzie to be fast like DJ Turner. Chidobe Awuzie, I think, is kind of the odd guy out as you look forward to 2024. And if I were building the starting lineup, I'd say, if he was still on the roster, I'd say, hey, he's going to be the fourth guy coming off the bench because I think DJ Turner could be a starter. Mike Hilton's one of the best slot corners in the league. He's good at coverage, but I think what they really pay him for is to be an extra linebacker. He's
Sure.
so good against the run. He's great when it comes to pressuring the quarterback. So I think considering the experience that Hilton brings, and we've seen what Cam Taylor Britt can do, and then the sheer, even though he's inexperienced, the sheer athleticism that DJ Turner brings, I think that they should be in good. What do you think?
I'm going to pitch needs work, but an
Okay.
optimistic needs work. I don't like our backups overly much. We don't have anybody who can take a step on that foot on that field. And I'm like, yeah, they can lock this down for a game. Don't like it. Hilton's getting a little bit older. Still think he's
Mhm.
great. Getting a little bit older. I get what you're saying about Cam Taylor Britt. No notes. Love Cam Taylor Britt. I
Okay.
also get what you're saying about DJ Turner, but this is where the needs work comes in. I think his ceiling is high, but if we're rating that room based off
Right
what
now.
we saw last year,
Right.
then he is still a rookie and he's making rookie mistakes and he's looking like a rookie out there. That's to be expected. It's not a thing to panic over, but he needs work. Work he'll put in, I'm
Right.
confident, and he'll show up next season looking even better. But if we're counting on our starters to be an aging slot cornerback who plays more like a linebacker than Cam Taylor Britt, who was great, and DJ Turner, who we expect to take a jump but didn't this year,
Yeah.
that needs work for me, and without a good
Okay.
backup. And then Cheeto can't stay on the field.
Yeah, that's the big issue. If Cheeto could stay healthy, so maybe okay. So you know what? I think I can concede and come down, but I feel like if there was a way to put this like right here, you know what I mean, in the middle,
Yeah.
maybe that's where they go.
I
But I'll
here's what it is. If we're being realistic, it needs work right now, but without
yeah,
changing anything, I fully expect it to leap a tier on its own. I think
right,
Cam Taylor Britt's only going to get better. DJ Turner's only going to get better. Communication is only going to get better. I don't. This is not a concern, but it's
right.
just realistically where it
Okay,
was is not great. But next year, without anything changing, I expect it to be even better.
okay. So it's just the experience, not a
It is.
player to be added or coaching change, just experience. Okay,
Right.
totally agree.
I would like to add one or two vets, a couple of $1 million a year, just that I trust to get on the field if there's an injury.
Okay, okay. You know who's going to be a free agent is down in Miami. Bring Eli Apple home.
Apple,
Bring
I
Apple home. I would do it
I
in a
was an
second.
Apple defender.
I love it. I'd love it. I'd love to bring Eli Apple back. That'd be awesome, I think.
I
Okay.
was I was an Apple defender.
Yeah,
Considering he was
me
never
too.
supposed to take starting snaps with that field,
Oh,
I
yeah.
actually thought he played some of his best ball with us.
Best years of his career by far in Cincinnati. All right. You do the next one. You start the next one. Safety. I just want to see where your head is before I tell you what I think.
This is the other one that's hard one, right?
Right.
Because they keep trying to make Dax Hill play free safety. Do we expect they're going to? Well, I guess we're not projecting for next year. So I'm going to put them at needs work as well. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
I think Battle shows huge upside. Still a rookie. Still needs to see the field a little. It's just he only played half the season. It is what it is. They keep trying to make Daxell play free safety. I don't understand why. Nick Scott's a disaster. Um,
Yeah.
Depth is okay, but I'm not loving it. It needs work. Hopefully that work involves them realizing that Dax Hill isn't a free safety. And Battle getting more experience, maybe adding a vet in there
Right.
somewhere if we wanted to bump it up. But I would say it's at the needs work level as well. What about you?
Okay. See, I think it's overhaul. I think it
Okay.
I think it's worse than needs work, but it's not going to take multiple years if they do the right stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I totally agree. So here's the thing is I think Jordan Battle played better as a center field deep safety than Dax Hill did at the end
He
of the
did.
year, you know? And I don't know if that's the answer. I think that he plays a lot faster than his athleticism would say that he could, you know what I mean? But I think that's just football intelligence, putting him in the right place at the right time. And that's not to say that Dax Hill can't be a really good free safety. But I think the issue is that we want a replacement for Jesse Bates, and I don't. Jesse Bates just may not have a replacement.
He
Jesse
doesn't
Bates
have
is
one.
just really good, and you can't just recreate Jesse Bates. You know what I mean? Um, Nick Scott is a disaster. They
Yes.
have basically two rookies out there right now with no backups. I mean, you got Michael Thomas, and that's awesome. I love Michael Thomas as a person,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
But
is he really going to step in and change games for you? No. You know,
so
Nick Scott's going to
overhaul.
be a detriment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
So,
think overhaul because it would just
so
take
when you
one
say
season.
overhaul, what would be your overhaul?
My
Pitch me.
overhaul is you have Dax Hill, you still have Jordan Battle. I don't know what the situation is with Anderson. I have no idea. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't.
But you're going to lose Nick Scott. Go out and get and spend a little bit of money. Go out and bring in a veteran free safety that can play center field. Maybe not Jesse Bates, obviously, but there are guys to be had. Go out and get somebody. Teach either Jordan Battle, help teach Jordan Battle, or help teach Dax Hill the ropes. But I personally believe that the best two starting safeties on the roster for 2024 might not include Dax Hill. Might include a free safety they sign in Jordan Battle, and then you free up Dax Hill to do whatever you want, because that's really where he could be dangerous. Just a
Sure.
Swiss Army knife, move him around. He's fast enough to just frustrate the hell out of offense coordinators coming from different positions. You could have a lot of fun with Dax Hill.
You could.
So I personally think it's an overhaul. It's not going to take multiple off seasons. I think it could be fixed with one player. I really do.
Then why are we calling the D line needs work and the safety room overhaul when the D line needs multiple starters?
Well, because the four starters on the D line are great.
Yeah,
The two starters at safety are not great. They're not.
that makes sense.
They're two rookies. That's why I see them totally different. The backups, yes, they if we were talking about this team where Reeder was not a full participant, you know what I mean? Because we said,
Yeah.
oh, he's injured. How are we going to treat it? And you were right. We got to treat him as like he's going full. Then it would, if he was out, then it's overhaul. But he's in there. He's the best nose tackle in the league.
All right,
You know what I
you
mean?
made a strong point. All right,
So,
all right. Safety's an
you
overhaul.
bring overhaul here.
But it's an easy overhaul. But it's an easy overhaul.
Oh yeah, it's easy.
You spend $8 million, you fix it.
Yep. On a 2-year deal. Bring a guy in on a 1-2-year deal, whatever. All right. That leaves us with special teams, which I have here, represented by Evan McPherson. This is kind of weird. I feel like this is kind of a weird one. Just because Evan McPherson's great. Cal Adamitis is the long snapper, and as long as you don't hear his name, he's doing good. You know what I mean? If you don't hear him, the punting, Brad Robbins coming in as a punter was bad. Just there's no other way to do it. He was one of the worst punters in the league. They brought him in because he had this high hang time, but he shanked several punts. There were a lot of punts that had net of 15, 20, 30 yards. It wasn't good. He's a rookie. I can't just
No, there's no rookie.
Go ahead.
There's no rookie punters. That's not a thing.
I know. So
the game doesn't
change.
Know. It's the exact same game.
I know. I just don't know where to put this. I don't know. I don't know if it. I don't think it's here. I don't think it's here. I don't think this fits in.
No, I think just put it in. You're right. I get what you're saying. Put it needs work because we have a top 5 kicker and a bottom 5 punter. They need to get a punter. You just go get one. They're out there. Just go buy one, and it's fine, and we're fine.
And then because a top 5 kicker and a bottom 5, and the offense was different this year. A bottom 5 punter probably doesn't hurt you if Burrow's healthy. You know what I mean?
That's
but it
not
does.
True. I'm very against the very concept of what Brad Robbins represents. I don't think goofy concept. At the time, I tried to get on board. There's probably a lot of me saying like, "Oh, it's a good pick. It's a good pick." I didn't fully think it over because it's a punter, and I just didn't overly think it over. Looking back, it was a wild concept to be like, this guy's really good at half his job, and he's a punter.
Yeah.
You don't draft a punter who's only good at half of what you need a punter.
I get you. I got you. I totally agree with you. I don't know. I was really surprised. I really was. I was now I'm kind of missing Drew Chrisman. I am. So
yeah.
All right. So to kind of wrap this up, we have just a recap. We had 5 tiers: great, good, needs work, overhaul. We'll take multiple off seasons to fix. So great. The only 2 position groups there, no surprise. Joe Burrow, not the players. Quarterback, wide receiver. Good, we have linebacker. It's the only one there. Needs work, we have a few: running back, defensive line, cornerback, and special teams. Overhaul, which we both agreed just means needs to be fixed, but it could be fixed in 1 year, right? We have tight end and safety, and then we'll take multiple off seasons to fix. You dragged me right down the dirt, man.
I didn't like it. I didn't like what I was saying, Jason, but it had to be said.
It had to be said. You're right. We'll take multiple off seasons to fix. So that's kind of where we have it. I think it will be really interesting. I would like to do this again when we I would like to do this again when
Pull that graphic back up, if you will, real quick,
I will. Hold on a second.
because I just want to make one comment on what I'm looking at here.
Yep.
This is very clearly the graphic of a team who's about to go into one of the most important off seasons of maybe the last 10 years. We have the core of what will make our team specifically great, and that's the wide receiver and the quarterback. Beyond that, what you're looking at is a whole bunch of stuff that can get shifted one direction or another, depending on the moves we're about to make, depending on the free agents we're about to add, and depending on the draft picks we're about to pick.
I buy into that.
I really do think that this could shift massively either direction. Specifically, we need to hit in the draft on the O-line. That's what I'm seeing.
Okay. Yep.
But overall, to me, I'm looking at it and saying this is the trenches draft.
Oh, for sure.
If it was almost nothing but trenches, top to bottom, I could see it still being a very successful draft.
For
7 trenches, D-line, O-line, and get out of there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see that happening, but
I'm saying that's how
agree.
badly we need that kind of help.
Yes, I absolutely agree. Based on where the offensive line has performed and where contracts are on the offense and defensive line, absolutely. 100%, both sides of the trenches, just what should happen. No, I totally agree with that. I think this is pretty good. I'm looking forward to doing this again when the draft is over and free agency's kind of, the Jets have been called a little bit on free agency where we could look at it again going into 2024.
Yeah, I'd like to do a comparison, see what we think, where we think they're gonna be versus where we decided they were. Yep.
Yeah, and then hopefully, we're doing this show way later next year. Not in the middle of the playoffs, after the playoffs are over, when the Bengals win the Super Bowl.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's in the script, man. You know where the Super Bowl is being held, right?
Next year? Oh yeah. New Orleans. Yes. Going home.
Tell me that's not in the script.
It is. It seems to be destined, right? All right. So let's do this. We picked them last week. I don't really even remember who we picked, but I think we both picked the Browns
we did not do well.
Yeah.
So let's do it again. So win. We picked the Cowboys to win.
Yeah.
Who else did we? There's another
we got the other ones.
Doesn't matter. We didn't matter. Got the other ones. All right.
Let's do it again. All right. So Houston Texans at Baltimore Ravens. Kevin, what do you got?
I'm going Texans.
Nice.
Team of Destiny. Let's do it.
I like it.
I mean, it's probably the Ravens, but whatever.
Probably. All right. The you know what? I am going Texans as well, but I have ulterior motive. I have something I'm trying to do. So we'll get there. Okay. All right. Packers at 49ers. This is the other game, the Saturday night game.
That's the Niners. They're going to whoop them.
Okay. All right. I do agree with that, but I'm hoping I'll be rooting for the Packers. Okay. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Detroit Lions, Sunday at 3.
Lions. All the way. Lions of the Super Bowl.
I know. That's what I want.
And
then Kansas City Chiefs at Buffalo Bills, 6:30 p.m. AFC divisional round. Maybe
it's going to be a great game. This Chiefs team ain't the team. This is where they exit. The Bills are going to kill them.
I agree. So I have some prediction things, or what I want. I would like to see the Texans beat the Ravens. I would like to see the Packers beat the 49ers, because I think it would be cool to let the Lions and Bills host the AFC and NFC championship games. If I had to pick it my way, it would be Lions versus Bills in the Super Bowl, because you don't really care who wins. You're happy for both of them. You know what I mean? You're just super pumped.
Lions Texans for me, just because I like the rookie.
Lions Texans, okay.
But yeah,
the rookie story. Okay,
same thing. I'm happy no matter who wins.
Yeah. So for me, if I had to really pick where I think it's going to win, I'd say Ravens win, Niners win, Lions win, Bills win. But I do think that we're going to be receive the retirement notice of not only Jason Kelce, but I truly believe that Travis Kelce is going to hang it up when the Chiefs lose this weekend. I think he's going to announce his retirement in the next couple of months. I do.
Yeah, I can see it.
I think that he's won rings. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, just like his brother, and he's dating a billionaire. He's making more money doing this podcast than he is.
Yeah. Once you
start
dating Taylor Swift, it really becomes a matter of just locking that down.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. All right. Again, we are on the Orange and Black Insider on YouTube, and then anywhere that you can get podcasts. Subscribe, like, follow, everything. There's not just us. It's Chalk Talk, it's OBI, and it's Talking Football with Bengal Jim and Friends. It's a new Bengals show every single day. We are brought to you by CincyJungle.com, SB Nation's Cincinnati Bengals website, and we are sponsored by Eastgate Smiles Dental Care. Give them a call. Kevin, you got anything else, man?
That's it.
All right. Enjoy the playoffs again this weekend, and Who Day.
Who dat?
That's great!